Don't you dare. What is wrong with you guys? What are you doing? Why are you all upset about being introduced to the new girls? Guys, these girls are going nuts, wanting to be held. They are so crazy today. I can't figure out how to turn my camera around like I could on my old phone. I just got this phone yesterday. But these girls are freaking out. They are literally jumping up and flying into my arms to be held. These are the girls I've had the longest, and they are not feeling these new arrivals. You're standing on your sister's head. Well, I guess she's technically standing on my head. Do not peck me, please. What's wrong, girls? Why are y'all acting like this? Let me see, because I can't figure out how to turn my camera around. Hold on, let me try. Yeah, I honestly have no idea how to turn it around, but they are freaking out. Look at my hands covered in mud. This girl is the first girl that jumped in my arms. Now she wants down. Maybe they're calming down a bit. Has anyone else had chickens act like this? Like them totally act crazy once they were introduced to the new girls, but instead of freaking out when you come in, they want you to hold them. I should have wore long sleeves because one just scratched me. She didn't mean to though. She was just trying to get back down again. But yeah, they're literally flying up at me, trying to get me to hold them. They're not attacking me. They're not pecking me. They're not intentionally trying to hurt me. I don't know if it's because I'm the one who takes care of them, I'm the safe zone, or what's going on, but yeah, they are definitely freaking out a little bit. I've never had them do this. I've had a rooster try to fly up my face and attack me before, but I've never had hens just fly up into my arms. I think ever, and it looks like she's about to try and jump up here and fly up again. What's wrong, sweet girl? This is my son's. One of these, their feathers are different on their tails. One has feathers that point upward. One has feathers that point down, but I can't tell which one is mine. Did you find a better way to get closer to me? I like this better than you trying to jump in my arms. Because, you know, if they flap too high and they jump at my face, that's a little scary. And look, so I was over here, one of my big red girls laid this egg. I didn't catch it on video because obviously I was too busy focusing on the fact that my girls are jumping in my arms over here. But this is what one of the big red chickens laid, and she's actually one of those big red meat pullets. What do they call them? The red broilers, ginger broilers, something like that. I don't know exactly what type of red broiler she is, but that's what she is. Why are you looking at me like you want to jump in my arms again? What is it? Why are y'all so upset? I mean, they are upset. I think it's just because we added and introduced them to 5 more girls while they were sleeping, and they're not particularly impressed with us adding 5 new girls to the flock. But look at this. See this red girl right here? She's one of those red broilers that I'm talking about. I don't remember exactly what type because we got her from someone else. But if you're looking at a red broiler, I think they're a really good dual-purpose chicken because unlike the big white broilers we have over here, they lay eggs. So this is that girl's egg, and this mama looks like she's brooding, but we don't have a rooster because look, she just grabbed this egg and put it underneath her. I feel like I'm gonna get pecked if I try to grab the egg. This is actually fairly small egg. It's a tannish color, but because of the bloom on this one, it actually appears pinkish. It's not a huge egg. I would say it's actually a smaller size egg compared to the other girls, but the fact is they lay eggs. They were intended for meat, but I think they're a good dual purpose bird to have because they produce a good amount of meat. I would say process the roosters and keep the hens. These girls have actually laid so far 4 eggs minimum a week, sometimes upwards of 5, 6, but usually about 4 eggs is that average. That's not really bad, and I feel like they're made to be broilers, so they're more meaty than other broilers, but they're smaller at the same time. I'm gonna give you all the egg back. Yeah, they're both still laying eggs. Guys, it's wintertime and these hens look like they're broody. We really wanted to get a rooster. I really did, but here's the issue. The dad doesn't think we should have a rooster because they are very aggressive, they are loud, and we live in a more urban setting. And so he doesn't think we should have a rooster because the first time that it wakes him up, he told us this last night. He was talking to Mom, and he said, okay, but the first time you'll get a rooster and it wakes me up early in the morning or in the middle of the night when I have to go to work, that's it. Rooster's getting eaten, or we're getting rid of it. And this is true. He makes a good point. Roosters will crow all the time. It's not, I used to think when I was a little kid it was early in the morning, but no, it is all times, day or night. And usually when they're sleeping it's not so bad, but I've had roosters crow at 1 in the morning. Okay, so he makes a good point. And second, the meat roosters that we got, like these little red broilers, we had issues with, and those were the first things that got processed when we got them because they were mean and I did not like them. They went after us constantly, and especially the small kids coming out here taking care of eggs, that was not an option for me. So it worked out that they were meat birds. I know not everyone eats meat, but for our family we do. And so yeah, we do process some of our birds. It just is a part of the life cycle. Are you gonna jump at me again? Why are you looking at me like that? I'm getting nervous, not because I think they're gonna hurt me, because I don't, but because when they jump up and fly, they come really close to my face and my chest, and they do sometimes unintentionally scratch you. I'm also starting to see why the eggs move around constantly, because they're fighting over who's going to sit on this egg. But like I said, we don't have a rooster, so none of these eggs are fertilized, so they would just rot and go to waste if the hens sit on them. And here, you can see it moved it from way over here, the girls kind of fighting over here, which is why eggs end up in the weird spot. So one thing I'm going to focus on this weekend is figuring out how to do the nest boxes. Hey! So I just realized something. I usually shoot my videos sideways from my phone, so because I watch all my videos, myself and my sisters do, on the TV, because we have a Roku and we can watch YouTube from the TV. So that's why I usually do these. If you're watching this from a television, just know it's going to be a really skinny screen because I'm holding my phone upwards because I wasn't expecting to film. Because I wasn't expecting for my chickens to start jumping on me and trying to get me to pick them up and hold them and carry them around. And look at this. All of these girls are fighting over that spot. So here we have a Americana. She lays the really, really blue eggs. We have, I always want to call them barred rocks, but they're actually Dominicers, and they're smaller than barred rocks, have a different comb. And then we have the red broilers. They're all fighting over this, and all 4 of these girls are broody. And then here's another one of our broilers. You can see she's not quite as fluffy as the other one. And I actually really love the broiler girls. I think that they're definitely something great to raise. And as far as the roosters, like I said, they're kind of mean, but they produce a really good carcass. And like my father, he's awesome, and he's really supportive of this. So I get a lot of good feedback from him. And one thing he told me was, hey, I really like the at-home chicken, but I prefer a smaller chicken than those big broilers that you have because it's too much meat for me and your brother. And so the smaller roosters ended up being perfect, and I actually really like them. They're really tender, and they fry up so much easier because they're not this huge bird. They're not as tough. What are you doing? What is it? She's really upset. It's okay, sweet girl. Come here. You want me to pick you up? Come on. Come on. I'll put my hand out. You can jump on my hand. Don't fly up my face. good. What is it? Guys, I absolutely come out here and talk to the chickens just so you guys know all the time. Come on. Come on. I'm really nervous he's going to go for my face instead of just jumping on my arm. Come on, Mama. Come on. You want up? I don't know what she's trying to do. I'm going to pick her up. Yeah, she doesn't want up. She wants down. Oh, I'm sorry. Poor thing. This light actually isn't... I don't even know why it's on the ground because we don't use it. The light bulb's burned out and it is supposed to be up. I'm guessing it got knocked down at some point. Somebody probably came in to take it down and then never did because it's not hooked up or anything. We haven't been using lighting in here. By the way, these lights that you see, they're not heat lamps. They are literally just lights for if I need to come out here at night and do anything. So we don't heat this coop. Our girls are older and really fluffy. They do just fine without it. Are you about to lay an egg or are y'all just fighting over this nest? Huh? I'm going to take this egg. So if anybody is wondering what those red broilers grow up to do, if they lay well, I think so. They're not a production layer. They're not going to lay every day. It's not like having a leghorn, also often called a leghorn. But I would compare it to having a Dominiquer. They both lay about 4 eggs a week. Some Dominiquers lay more. Ours lay about 4 to 5 eggs. And this girl does the same. And also, if you notice, they're also broody. This is the same girl that was trying to lay the egg, that just laid this egg. So all 3 of these breeds go broody. I think this is a great dual purpose. I think it's a great entry-level bird for somebody just starting out. They're friendly enough. They're definitely bigger hens, so they can dominate the other ones more easily. But all these girls are fighting because they want that same nest that they created. That's the perfect spot for them. And these 2 girls have not laid eggs yet today. Only my 2 red ones have so far. And then one of my mama's Americanas, they lay the really bright blue eggs. And at first they laid a lighter color blue, but in some of those pictures it looks brighter than it is. But for the most part, the eggs really are that bright, that intensely colored. They are absolutely gorgeous eggs. And they're kind of like the Aracanas, but they are not tailless. They do, 3 of them have fluffy cheeks, have muffs and beards, and 1 doesn't. But the whole point of Americanas is to give those beautiful eggs, but eliminate the dangers of the Aracana, which have a gene that's lethal. I can't remember. Is it the Rumpelus gene? I'm not sure. But one of their genes is lethal, and it ends up being something like a 50% loss in babies and eggs. So it was really important for us. My mom wanted to have these beautiful eggs, and I love that. They're a really sweet, gentle breed. They're smaller hens, but I didn't want to deal with the low fertility rate or chick death rate if we eventually decide to get a rooster and hatch eggs that Aracanas have. So I found this really amazing breeder out in College Station, and they actually Texas A&M has this thing where they do like Rooster of the Month. Obviously it's called a different name, but since I have children who, the minute I say that, are gonna say something immature because that's what young boys, especially teenage boys, think is funny, you get my drift. So we got these girls from them. They were cutting down on their flock. We got them for such an amazing price, and we paid fairly, I think like $15 a bird my mom paid, and she was so excited. They lay gorgeous eggs, but I did notice those little booger heads will lay in the food feeder, and I didn't realize why until I came out yesterday, and these little meanie heads over here that have gone broody won't let any of the Americanas lay eggs right here because they're broody and they want the nest for themselves. So that's why the girl's been sitting in the feeder and laying an egg, because these 2 are being booger heads. What are you guys doing? I want to add that I think we are going to, my mom found a place that does shavings by the 1-ton bag and delivers. I think we're going to do that because you can see how fast these are getting dirty, but not just for in the coop, because this was extremely thick. It was like 8 inches thick when I laid it, and due to all the water and it getting stomped down, it's a lot less. I'll scoop all of this out. Thursday when I get paid, I'll go get more shavings, scoop all of this out, put this into the beds that I currently have. I'll either mulch the top of them, put it underneath and put topsoil on top, or I'll throw it in the walkways, and that's how I build up my soil, which is a really awesome way to use all of these old pine shavings, and they help build up soil. But another thing I'm going to do is out here under this, you can see where it is. It's extremely muddy and slippery for these chickens. I saw one kind of slip on it earlier. So I'm going to lay shavings all in this part and allow them to walk on them. Like, I'm not going to ever scoop them up. I'm going to let them amend the soil and break down in it. And hopefully over time make it a bit less slippery. It's kind of funny because it's been raining, so it sounds crazy to put shavings out where the rain is, but I actually think it's a really good idea. So that's what I'm going to try doing, is buying one of those 1-ton shaving packs. There's a pumpkin stem right here that actually probably needs to get thrown out of the chicken coop because the girls will slip on it. My plan was to come out here this week and clean out the run where they have composted everything and eaten it of all these pumpkin stems, but yeah, look at this. That kind of threw off my plans because there's a lot of water everywhere, so I can't get back there without making a muddy, sloppy mess. Oh look, while I was talking away, and look, one of my girls laid an egg. This is the treasured corner. So some people will say, oh well, you should have nest boxes. Well, my chickens will actually just lay in the shavings, and since we use the deep litter method, it really doesn't bother me. I've said this a few times over the last few weeks. I wasn't expecting my girls to start laying during winter. They're new layers, and both my mom's chickens and mine started laying during the winter, and now the little boogers are broody, even though they've never even been in the pen with a rooster. So for me, I love broody chickens. I know some people don't. They lose weight. They just want the eggs, but I love broody chickens. I eventually want to have a rooster so that I can breed chickens for myself, because they lay so well and they hatch, and I noticed that they're actually really good for scratching and turning over soil and compost and the garden beds and walkways, whereas ducks just kind of flatten it out. And while I love ducks, they are one of my favorite animals, I will always want to have ducks. We're actually about to get more ducks and geese. I'm super excited about that, and my mom is too. Anacondas is something we're looking at. I'm on the list for Welsh Harlequins too. So as you guys know, I know a lot of people subscribed originally because we raised ducks and geese, and it's disappointing that we got out of that temporarily, but we are getting back into it. So if you're wanting to see content about how we raise ducks and geese and use them for eggs, for meat, in the garden, just because they're cute and funny. I know they are messy and people don't like them, but you saw the flooding in the backyard. It holds a lot of water, so it is a great idea to have ducks in those areas because they can't mess something up that Mother Nature is already doing a good job with herself, right? So now that I have made this completely unexpected video and sat around talking about my chickens, which I wasn't even expecting to do, but they're behaving super funny, I am going to get off of here, probably break up this, because look at this little one is one of the blue egg layers. You see what I'm talking about on beards, or on her fluffy cheeks. And she does have a beard too. You can't see it because she's running away. But I'm gonna get out of here and stop going on and on about chickens, but they are so funny and so amazing. I'm glad I got to share some of their goofiness. I'm Also really excited that I got to show off these eggs that the broilers made, and can actually confirm that they lay about 4 to 5 eggs a week, but for sure I would expect 4 eggs from those red broilers. So they're a good dual purpose, and if you want them, just know the roosters are booger heads. So thank you guys for listening to me go on and be incredibly repetitive once again.